One main world, one creation dream.
And on here, next activity is equals, and in here, this is greater than. So it's in the other way, it's inverted, okay, as you see. So we are going to use that one, and then we are going to start creating some cool things, okay? So the first one is telling the game that if this works, we are going to select the activity as number one. Once more, number one means relax time, okay? So means that the activity, the current one, it's going to be number one. So what you are going to do? You are going to add an action. The action is going to be assigned and it's going to be value setup, okay? Once we got value setup, we are going to select activity on the first one. And we are going to set up as the activity that we want. And the activity that we want right now, it's going to be the number one, okay? So number one, now next is going to show a text to all the players, okay? So what is going to be the text? Just go here, choose players, and then we are going to move a little bit here. Oh, let me stretch myself a little bit. Just a second, guys. Okay, now we can continue. So you're going to select display chat info here to the players, and then we are going to have a next information, okay? So once more, when you display chat to player group, it's going to ask you to team. Of course, select all the players because we are going to teach to all the players. Then you have to select which text, okay? So we are going to have a string concatenation here. Actually, you can do it however you want it, okay? Because I failed here. So just choose directly and put in here the host or the player is going to select the next activity, okay? Just to make the players know that we are currently in default state. So you can use the same text I have here, okay? If you want to put a different text, it's okay. I just put the table is going to select a next activity. No more things is needed here. Next, we have to, this one is not important for you guys. This is just for my map, so don't worry for this one. What we are going to add is we are going to add a new trigger, okay? So we are going to go to player group, and then we are going to select once more player group activity. Let me change the screen so you will be able to see it better. It's the one that says operate trigger on a player set. And when you select operate trigger on a player set, you have to select the next one. On the first one, you are going to select triggers to brain, and you're gonna select teleport, okay? Remember, we create this the last class, so be sure that you select teleport. Then we need to choose to which player. So once more, select function library, player group, and all players, and conditions needs to be false. Then you copy on here, and you paste, and what you are going to change is just a trigger, okay? So we are going to select clear items. So once more, in brain, you have one that says clear items, so select that one, and that's it. And finally, we are going to take the score that the player gets during the activity, and we are going to add it to the total score. So just go ahead and copy, paste, and we are going to change this. You are going to go to trigger, brained, and add score, okay? That's it. No more things needed here. So just select add scored and false, okay? And as you see right now, as you see right here, we have all the information here for the players, okay? So that means that we almost finished on here. We left only one activity, and then we can start to set up our buttons, okay? But as always, I'm going to give you the next code, okay? And it's going to start the timer. So after 10 seconds, the activity is going to work. But also the different activities, the activities that you click on are going to be executed at the same time, okay? So we are going to start with this part with any activity here. And we are going to do that, okay? So what we are going to do is that we are going to add the first action, okay? And how it's going to work for the first action is just that simple, okay? Remember, guys, very important, all of this needs to be done inside the UI, okay? Because if you are doing it from the normal triggers, it's not going to work, and you are not going to see the same actions I'm seeing here, okay? So first action, you are going to go here and you are going to click on interface. Okay. Oh, we got a lot of like actions removed for some reason. Okay, but all right, it's okay. So we are going to select current interface. Any button is press it or release it. No, it's release it. Okay, so it's this one. It's the first one. Be sure that it's release it. What will be the difference of, like, the first one is when you click the button. The second one is if you give the click on and then you release the finger, it's going to activate it. Okay, so the second one is going to be better than the first one. The first one can be sometimes a little bit tricky to work with, so we're going to use this one. Okay, and we are not going to add any condition, as we are going to use this for any activity. Okay, once more, then we are going to have each activity, but for this one you can use, it's going to work with any button on the activity. Okay, and the first thing that we are going to do is that once we have the activity open, we are going to close it. We don't need the activity method once more. So what we are going to use is close interface. Okay, and when you add it, it's going to actually not like that. Sorry. The actual one that we are doing, because at the beginning we already create those three, and we have one that hides for all the players, not just for that player. So we are going to execute that one. Okay, so go to player group and select the one that says operate trigger to a player set. And once you have that, guys, once you have operate trigger to a player set, we are going to select which one. Okay, so remember, on here you always are going to keep all players, and we are going to select on here display. This is not going to be in brain, this is going to be in displayed, and we have one that says hide for all. Okay, so we are going to select that one. And also, guys, this is going to be very important, check that on here we have a true. Okay, because we have some conditions in the other one, so be sure that you check in the conditions. Okay, once we do that, we are going to start the timer. Okay, remember, guys, the main function of this is to create a 10 seconds timer here. So we are going to do that. Let's do the next one. We go to right here and we search for timer, and you are going to use this button. This button name is run countdown timer, so you are going to select that one. And once you select that one, once you select next activity timer, the countdown needs to be for 10 seconds. Okay, so remember, we need to select on here the variable. Remember that we, at this time, you're supposed to have already created that. If you haven't, please check the previous classes because you are missing a lot. So you are going to select next activity timer, and be sure that you put on here 10 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds means that once more we are going to have a dead time, and repeated timer needs to be false. Okay, very important. Now we are going to actually play a sound. Okay, and we are going to just play a sound for the players. Remember, this is going to be feedback, so the players is going to know that the player choose the activity. So you are going to add a sound for the player. Okay, so click here, just go to sound effect, and players turn on sound effect. Okay, so the sound I placed, the sound I'm making for the players, it's going to be this one. I'm going to pause the music a little bit, and the sound is this one. Okay, notice that probably you haven't heard that sound because I use behavior 48 and I changed the key. Okay, so once more, if I put a number 1 here, it's going to sound different. What I did is just put a 5 on here to make it sound a little bit different, like a little bit more funny and a little bit less terrific. Okay, and that's it, you add it. Next, after that, we are going to clear the screen, guys. Okay, so remember, I already teach you this trick. What you do is actually you go here, you go to player group, and you display chat info for all the players. Okay, and when you display the chat info for all the players, what you are going to do is that you are going to select on here all players, and once more this on here you are just going to put this one. Okay, this one is going to be like a space. Once more, if I delete this, what you are going to see is anything. There is nothing here. but actually it's going to be this code, okay? With this code, you're going to create a new line here. So that's what I'm using here, okay? That is just going to give an space so information is going to be clear, okay? And now, probably this is the first time you are going to see this, and it's going to be the total activities, okay? Remember, total activities, it's the one that measures how many mini games we are playing. Remember that we can set up a number of activities. And welcome, Dark Knight. How are you? And also welcome, Kenzie. Kenzie says, I'm so late. Don't worry for that, Kenzie. Remember that you always can check the resume that I'm going to submit, or check out this video back. So don't worry, you are not missing a lot. But if you want to add the activity menu to your map, you will be able to check how it works. Okay, so total activities counts the amount of activities that we currently have. So we create this variable previously, but this is the first time that we are going to use it, okay? So once more, we need to select assigned in value setup. With that, we can change numbers, we can do math calculations, and we are going to select here the variable. And the variable that we are going to create here is going to be called total activities, okay? It's this one, so remember to select this one. Sorry guys, I got like hippo. I don't know how to call that in English. I forgot how to call that, but in Spanish we call hippo. It's like hip, hip. Okay, so we are going to do a numeric calculation here, guys. So go to maths. You see, guys, I'm getting like out of air. I need more coffee. Now you are going to select numeric calculation. Okay, and in numeric calculation, you are going to select in the first one, total activities, just once more this one, and we are going to add one. So that means that we have an extra activity right now. And then we got the easiest part, is that we are going to wait just a second. Remember to wait, you need to select on here timer. Okay, I need to be sure that I'm not like covering that part, so I'm going to make the screen a little bit smaller, and you are going to select timer, and you are going to select hide components, okay? Sorry, what I'm doing is timer, and you are going to select waiting time, okay? This one. And once you select that one, just wait 1 second, and we are going to perform the next action. And the action is going to be really easy. What you are going to do is, as an action, you are going to select player group and chat info, okay? So what it's going to do, the chat info, it's going to tell the players which activity the players select, the main player, okay? So that's very easy. Select display chat info to every player. Go ahead. Select function library, player group, and select all players right here. And the content is string concatenation. So go ahead. Oh, what is this for? No idea what is this for, but it seems that this is something new. But sorry, let's keep with this. You are going to select player concatenation. So remember here, you can choose on general, string concatenation here. And in the first, you're gonna select the player or the host. In my case, I'm using the devil selects 2 points. And then we are going to select a group. Remember once more here. And remember this table that we just create of these different activities sections in here. So once was like singing or comedy, that was the activity name, okay? So we are going to use that, okay? So we need to go to function library, string group, and string ID, okay? So remember this key, it's going to be the ID. We are going to tell the game, oh, okay, we are going to, the player choose activity number 3. So say what activity name has in the number 3 or on the line 3, and it's going to be comedy, okay? So that's an example. Of course, this is going to be adaptive. It depends on what you choose. So select that one. And once more, our key is going to be next activity. So next activity, it's going to be activity name. Once more, it's going to be any of those lines, okay? And that's it. So select next activity and variables. And then we are going to select the group that is being called activity name. Once more, is this group, okay? Activity name. And that's it. As you see, guys, we already finished our brain. It's going to be easier about most of the common brains we made due to the groups, okay? That's making the things a lot, 100% easier. Of course, Doggy, yeah, please give me your UID, and at the end of the class, I'm going to add you as a friend, okay? All right, now, guys, we got finished our brain on here, all right? So once we got finished our brain, okay, that is all this map that we made, we already have this and this created in our brain. So what we are going to start is to work with the activities, okay? So this is going to be easy, guys. Remember, all the activities that we are going to make, all the different activities are going to be in a folder that is being called interactions, okay? That's going to be the group, so we can see it here. And the important thing about this is that all the different activities are going to have the same trigger, the same structure. The only difference is going to be the information, okay? So once you create one, you can just go ahead and copy and paste, and then you just need to change the information, okay? So we're gonna start and we're gonna create the first one, okay? So you are going to create an activity. In my case, it's going to be sing. Be sure that the activity that you create is the second one, okay? So remember, number 0 is no activity at all. Number 1 is the relax activity, in which we can choose which activity we are going to play next. And the number 2 is going to be the actual first activity that you have, okay? So in my case, the first activity is sing, okay? So it's going to be the first one, okay? The idea is the number 2 of very important, but is going the actual first activity that we can choose. So choose your first activity, okay? In my case, it's going to be called sign, okay? And this is going to be sign. What are going to be the conditions, okay? Remember, for this, we need already to have created a button for our activity in our UI. So the first action that we are going to select is interface, and we are going to select create a current activity button is released, okay? And then we are going to add a conditions, okay? So the condition is in interface, and we are going to determine a component, okay, here. So it's going to ask us which component and which activity, okay? So we're gonna select event component, yes, in current edit interface, and then it's going to ask us which one we are going to choose. So once more, we are going to select event component, we are going to select template library, and on here we're gonna have our UI. So as we are going to work with sign, we are going to select sign, okay? And be sure you are selecting the button, okay? Because I also have here like all the different information, but you need to select the button, okay? The button number 1 is the one that covers signs, so I'm going to choose that one, okay? Now, first thing we are going to add are some actions, okay? And very important, guys, we have a time in here, and the timer is very like sync with the other trigger that we create before, okay? So you need to use the same weighting here, okay? So what we are going to do right now is that we are going to add an action, okay? So the action, it's going to be on here, and we are going to assign, okay? And the first thing that we are going to assign is the next activity, okay? The value setup. All right, so next activity, okay, on here, next activity, it's going to be the number 2, okay? So once more, number 2 is assign, okay? And remember that we are working with it, so we are going to use this key. Remember, each activity for you is going to change the number, but we are going to choose the ID of the activity here, okay? Now, we need to add something else that is a variable we are going to assign, and we are going to select area setup, okay? And the area setup, okay, it's going to be next activity area, and we have to choose here where is going to take place your activity. In my case, when you sign or when you are going to do any voice activity, we gonna choose the auditorium, okay? So here you have the different regions. You are going to select yours, okay? So remember, my case is going to take place on there. depending of your activity, you are going to have different regions, okay? Next, we are going to do something important, and it's that it's important is because you cannot translate the variables, but you can translate some specific things, okay? So thank you so much, and Eugen Bantuan, for just repeating the code, okay? So what we are going to put on here is going to be the text or the instructions that we are going to select in that area, okay? So how do you do this, or how do you are going to make it? It's just you are going to add, we are going to scroll down, and we are going to select displayed information, and then we are going to select create information on location. Okay, once you select that one, you are going to have the next information. So on the first one, you need to select text box, okay? So you have like different information here. You are going to select text box. You are going to open it, and on here is going to tell you which text box, okay? So I have already placed my information here, but just for you to see, I'm going to copy all. So you are going to see the raw code here in my notepad. Hi Leslie, how are you? Hola Leslie, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenida a la clase. I see that a student for the Spanish class is coming here, so I'm just saying hello in Spanish. Okay, so once more, as you see, to be able to do this, to sync and separate this, what I do is I use this and, okay? So if I take out this and, the text is going to be normal, okay? And you're not gonna see it because it's right here. Okay, as you see, it's like kind of breaking the laws, but what you have to do is just to put this code to do these different lines. And as you see, it's telling the instructions for the players. So it's telling the game, use your microphone to sign. The devil choose who is gonna sign, okay? All right, that's simple, okay? You can select a font size, and very important, guys, select a background opacity around 30, so it's going to make a square around the area where the text is going to be. And then always keep the same activity here, the same number, okay? All right, so that's going to be the first one. The second one is that we are going to choose where is the players can see this, okay? So just select here, function library, and you select central location of an area. And the area we are going to choose is just the one that we are working with, that is next activity area, okay? So that's going to create the instructions. Now, after that, you just need to click on actions. And then after actions, we are going to add another wait, okay? That's it. We are going to select another wait, and we are going to wait 1 second, okay? After that, we need to pause some specific amount of waiting time. So we are just going to copy here, okay? And we are going to paste, okay? Why is this? At least is going to wait 1 second. Most of the time it's going to wait more than 1 second, okay? So you're going to pause 1 second, and after that you're going to wait another. So just copy, paste, and on the second one we are going to place a numerical calculation. So how do you do this? You go to math, numerical calculation, and in numerical calculation, you are going to select a time for that, okay, guys? So the timer time is the time that we have in the activity timer to wait, okay? So as you see, always is going to take the time, okay? Just for Dougie, I'm just chatting you on the chat. That's my UID dummy, okay? So the timer time, it's going to be next activity timer, okay? So once more, we select on here, you select function, you select on here timer time, and you are going to select activity timer, okay? Next activity timer is the one that we're gonna choose, and it's just going to be for make things easier, okay? And you are going to add 3.1 seconds, okay? What it's going to do that is just going to be sure that we always have enough time to show that. Sorry guys, my EPO is attacking again. And then we put the easy things, okay? So we are going to give the instructions for the players in 2 different times. The first time we are going to tell the players like, hey, use your microphone, and the second one we are going to give the second instruction. So it's going to be easier for the players for read all the instructions. Okay, so what we have to do here is just go on here, go to player group, select chat info to player group, and we are going to choose all players, and we are going to select the first instruction. Okay, why I'm using this? Because you can translate this while others are not be able to be translated. So it's going to be easier for the players if you can translate that. Of course, now it's like a book on a mini word, and sometimes it doesn't work. But if you can translate to different languages, all the players will know what they have to do, okay? So that's important because you can use this. It's why you doing in this way. Otherwise, we can choose another way, like triggers, scripts. But I prefer to do this because it's going to be clearer for the players, okay? So the content is the first instructions. In my case, is use your device microphone to sign. Then we gonna wait manually and just go ahead and type here timer, and you are going to add a waiting time. The waiting time is going to be 4 seconds to continue and perform the next action, okay? And that's it. After the 4 seconds, we are going to choose to all players, and we are going to give the second instructions, okay? So the first one says activate your microphone to sing, and the second one is going to be the player choose who is going to wins or sings, impress other players, and that's it. As you see, it's not that difficult, okay? So next, we're gonna have the second one, and the second one is just the same, okay? So I'm going to show you very quickly. The only thing that you need to do is to copy and paste, and then change the name, and you change the name of the event. Once more, remember the number 2 is signed. Now we are going to move to the next one, and for me the number 3 is comedy, okay? So we just gonna make the same here. You go to your strip, and the things that you need to edit first is the condition. So we need to change the event here. So remember, this is going to ask the system which button has been touched or clicked on or tap. So we are going to select a different component. So choose library. And before we got this one that it was signed, now we are going to choose comedy. So choose the button that you use for comedy. Okay. And now on here, we are going to choose now which number of activity is it. So remember, in my keys, we are going to use now the number 3. Okay. So we change that on here. Okay. So as you see, now it's number 3. Now, once more, we need to select the area. So once more, choose the area where you are going to place that. And as you see, it's just by replacing, okay? So once more, the only thing that you need to change after that is with the activity. So in this case, is use your microphone to tell jokes. And the second instruction is going to be the devil choose who tells the jokes, make the players laugh, okay? And as you see, all the activities are just the same. The things that change are the button, the activity, the area where this is going to take place, and the different instructions, okay? So you need to add as much activities as you want it, and you need to select manually. I have 9 activities here, so I place 9 activities here, okay? That's important. All right, so water war is going to be the last one. As you see, it's the activity number 9 on here. We got the activity number 9, okay? Once more, as an example in this one, we have the button number 8. Once more, I'm just showing you the last one to see that is going to be the same. As you see, it's going to be the button for the water war. The activity is the number 9, and this time the location is going to be a little bit different because it's going to be in the beach. But you see, the instructions are going to be a little bit different. Use lava gun and balance to hit other players. And the second one is to show tricks and enjoy, okay? So it's very important, guys. As you see, it's easier to make this, okay? So now we have the timing here. We have 8:31, so I'm going to give you the next code. And we already finished the class, okay? So with this, guys, you will be able to do the different things, to do the different activities that you want to do, okay? Thank you so much for assisting. YeyoCore is saying bye to all of you, and I hope you have an excellent weekend.